Welcome to the Talk Sports podcast on Friday, March 22nd. Today's show, we will be covering my AL Central and NL Central predictions for 2024 season. Let's get started. We're starting first with the AL Central standings. And at the shocker at the top, I do not have the Cleveland Guardians. I think the Kansas City Royals will win this division this year. This division is wide open. Wide open. Anybody can win it, even the White Sox. And that's crazy to say, but I think if Kansas City gets a couple breakouts from like Bobby Witt, Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a couple of the young pitchers, that they will be the ones to win the division. In second place is another surprise. It is the Detroit Tigers. As you see, I don't have anybody in this division winning over 90 games. Nobody in this division will win over 90 games this year. But the Tigers, I like the moves they've made this offseason, whether it be extending Colt Keith, who is going to be a rookie this year. And you might hear me talk about Colt Keith in a little bit in the show, in this episode of the prediction show. But I like what the Tigers are building here. In third place, the Minnesota Twins. Their record is going to be 84-74. Tigers' record was 86-76. 84-74 for the Twins. I think that's a fair record for them. There is some questions about can they repeat what they did last year, finishing near the top in the top three spots in the division. I think they can. If they can get a consistently healthy year from Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton and Royce Lewis, which Royce Lewis is another name you might hear later on in the show, I think that they can win 84 games and finish third place in the AL Central. Now, I guess I haven't learned my lesson. In fourth place, I have the Cleveland Guardians, 83-79. I know what Guardians, and leave your comments. I would love to hear your discussion down in the comments section down below on my standings for the AL and NL Central. But the Guardians, the reason I have the Guardians here is because they're young. Bieber is their only returning. Okay, I mean, Bieber's a veteran. McKenzie's a veteran. Then the rest of that rotation is young. Whether it be Tanner Bybee, Gavin Williams, or whoever their fifth starter is, I am a little skeptical about that rotation, but their lineup is really good. And you're going to hear me talk about one of the guys I think might have a breakout season later on in the show. And in last place, you had to expect it, the Chicago White Sox, 60-102. The White Sox may be one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball this year. Worse than a team that I haven't even done predictions on yet, and that is the Oakland Athletics, which that's next week. The NL West and AL West predictions are next week on Monday. And I may be going somewhere Sunday night. I don't know yet. But back to this. The White Sox. If you didn't see the move they made, they traded Dylan Cease to San Diego for Drew Thorpe, and a few other prospects. And I do like the Whites. I do think the White Sox will win at least 60 games. I don't think they win any more than that. Now the NL Central standings. And yes, this was kind of self-explanatory here. I think finishing in first and winning the division this year will be the Milwaukee Brewers. I know they lost Corbin Burns via trade, but I still like that rotation of Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, Aaron Ashby, and whoever else is in that rotation. I like the rotation. I like the bullpen, even if Devin Williams is going to miss the first 3 months of the season with an injury. I still think that the Brewers will win this division. In second place, and the Brewers' record is 96, 98, and 64. I think the Brewers do win 98 games. I don't have anybody in this division winning over 100. In second place at 95 and 67 is the Cincinnati Reds. Now, you could flip the Reds and Brewers. I think one of the two is going to win the division. If the Reds' young players play really well, I think they might win this division. I don't know what it is, but I think they might win the NL Central. But in this case, I have them finishing behind Milwaukee in second place. I love their young core, and you may see somebody that I talked about in a YouTube community poll a week and a half ago as the breakout player for the Reds, but I think the Reds will finish in second place. In third place at 85 and 77 is the Chicago Cubs. I love the moves the Cubs have made this offseason, whether it be getting Shoto Umanaga from Japan, or whether it be re-signing Cody Bellinger, or the hiring of former Brewers manager Craig Counsell. I think that the Cubs are poised to have a big bounce back year. And tied with them for third place. I know I have them in third and fourth, but record-wise they're tied for third, Pittsburgh Pirates. I think the Pirates are another team in this division that could, I think they will be much improved this year. If they can get all their guys to stay healthy, Brian Reynolds, Mitch Keller, Brian Hayes, O'Neal Cruz, if they can get all of them to stay healthy, I think there is a good chance they finish maybe in front of Chicago in the division. And in last place, finishing at 82 and 80, is the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, I could see a world where the Cardinals finish ahead of the Pirates. But in this case, I think they're going to finish last. Arenado's not getting any younger. Goldschmidt's not getting any younger. Contreras isn't getting any younger. Their starting rotation isn't getting younger either. And they have some prospects that need to play. For example, Matthew Liberatore. Why isn't he playing? Now we get to the AL Central breakout. So the way I did this is I did the breakout player and I did the prospect watch in the same slide. So for the Royals, their breakout player, I think it's going to be James McArthur. It sounds like he's going to be the closer. And his stat projection for me is for a breakout for him looks like a 3.05 ERA with an under 2 whip of 1.98 85 strikeouts, 60 walks, 47 out of 50 in the save department. Because I have the Royals winning this division. 67% strikeout rate and an 8% walk rate. And the prospect watch for the Royals is right-handed pitcher Matt Sauer. ETA of 2024. Highest graded pitch is, and this is on the 2080 scale. That's how MLB grades their prospects. Is his fastball graded 55 out of 80, averages 93, 94, can get it into the upper 90s. First place, of course, I did this by the same order of the standings. So, the breakout player for the Milwaukee Brewers this year is going to be rookie Jackson Chourio. And Jackson Chourio's stats are going to look like this. A 298 batting average, 856 slug, 780 OBP, with 30 home runs, 89 runs batted in, 40 stolen bases, strikeout rate of 20%, 15% walk rate. And the prospect to watch for the Brewers is Robert Gasser, 2024 MLB ETA, highest graded pitch. Slider sits at around 79 to 82 miles an hour. And like I said, MLB ETA 2024. Before we get on to the next batch of breakouts and prospects, we offer memberships here at the Sports Talk Podcast. They start at 99 cents a month. If you feel encouraged enough to purchase a membership and help grow the community even more, we have a nice community going here with this channel, but it would grow the community even more and you would get more content. If we get enough members for this, we will start doing members only live streams. But if you've enjoyed this so far, please leave a thumbs up on it. It helps push it out with the YouTube algorithm to more people. Back to the episode. So we go back to the AL. Now we're back in the AL Central. And my breakout player in the AL Central for the Tigers is Colt Keith. And I think his breakout consists of a 298 batting average with a slugging percentage of 780, on-base percentage of 809. I think he hits 28 home runs with 87 RBIs, 25 stolen bases, strikeout rate of 25% with a 10% walk rate. In the prospect to watch for the Tigers is right-handed pitcher Ty Madden. Highest graded pitch for Ty Madden is his slider, which is a 60 grade, and it's his slider sits in the mid-80s. The Reds' breakout player is Elly De La Cruz for me. And a breakout season for Elly is a 315 batting average, 900 on-base percentage, 890 slugging, 45 home runs, 104 RBIs, 67 stolen bases. And yes, that is possible. 67 stolen bases, 15%. You'll notice the discrepancy here between the strikeout rate and the walk rate. 15% strikeout rate for Elly De La Cruz and a 30% walk rate. And here's the explanation to that. Elly De La Cruz does not chase pitches outside the zone very much. And if he does, it's like that marginal. It's that small of a chase. He's not a big chase. He doesn't extend his swing outside the zone. And the prospect to watch for the Reds is right-handed pitcher Rhett Lauder, ETA of 2024, highest graded pitch, changeup. And with Lauder, his changeup sits in the mid 80s. Changeup in the mid 80s for Rhett Lauder. Now we get back to the AL Central, and the breakout player in the AL Central for the Twins is a guy I said a minute ago, and that is Royce Lewis. Breakout season for him would be a 310 average with a 785 OPS, a 985 slugging, 30 home runs, 96 RBIs, 45 stolen bases, strikeout rate of 30%, walk rate of 25. NL Central, Chicago Cubs breakout player for 2024, starting pitcher Jordan Wicks. I think he starts 34 games, wins 15 and loses 7 games, so 15-7 record with a 3.34 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP, 200 strikeouts, 80 walks, and he pitches around 196 in the third innings. And the prospect to watch for the Cubs this year is, and if you notice the theme here, it's all pitching, is left-handed pitcher Luke Little. ETA 2024, highest graded pitch is his fastball at his 60 out of 80 grade. His fastball sits at 92 to 96. On occasion, he can get it up to 99 and touch 99 on the radar gun. So now we're back. Fourth place in the AL Central, of course, is the Cleveland Guardians. And their breakout player, if the last name sounds familiar, this is Bo Naylor, brother of first baseman Josh Naylor. So, Bo Naylor, breakout year for him, 285 average, 690, 680 slugging with a 790 OPS, 30 home runs, 89 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, 23% strikeout rate, 20% walk rate. And the prospect to watch for the Guardians is Joey Cantanello. Guardians fans, please correct me if I said his last name wrong. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Highest graded pitch is a 60 out of 80 grade changeup. Average velo 79 to 82 miles an hour. And now we get to my favorite team that has my favorite prospect in baseball. We get the Pittsburgh Pirates, and their breakout player for me is pitcher Mitch Keller, who just got a nice hefty contract extension during the offseason. I think he starts 38 games, wins 20, loses 8, 290. This is the big one. 2.98 ERA with a 1.50 WHIP, 210 strikeouts, 70 walks. In my favorite prospect that I'm going to talk about today, from the NL Central, Pittsburgh Pirates Prospect Watch, right-handed pitcher Paul Skeens. Estimated time of arrival, 2024. Highest graded pitch, an 80 grade fastball. Average is 98, can top out at 102. If you've been watching spring training, this kid has been making professional baseball players look foolish. Foolish. Off that fastball, he's got a slider and a changeup that just drop off the table. This kid is going to be top of the line starting rotation. He's got ace written all over him. he's going to get called up at some point this year by the Pirates. And last but not least, for the AL Central, my breakout player for the Chicago White Sox is starting. He's a reliever, but he's moving into the rotation. That would be Garrett Crochet. I think he starts 34 games. Wins 9 of them, loses 15. Because, of course, like I said, the White Sox are going to be probably the worst team in that division. I think his ERA is going to be 3.20, whip of 135, 220 strikeouts, 75 walks. And the prospect to watch for the White Sox is the pitcher they got in the Dylan Cease trade. Right-handed pitcher Drew Thorpe, 2024 ETA, highest graded pitch, 70. Grade changeup, sits in the average velo, low 80s. And finally, the last player, the last team in the NL Central, last place team in the NL Central, the St. Louis Cardinals. Right-handed pitcher, starting pitcher Drew Thorpe is their breakout candidate for me. For Drew Thorpe, breakout looks like 34 starts, 9 wins, 15 losses, 3.40 ERA, 1.45 whip, 190 strikeouts, 88 walks. And the prospect to watch for the Cardinals is right-handed pitcher Tink Hintz. Fastball, his highest graded pitch is a 60 grade fastball. Average velo 92 to 96. Can touch 99. And ladies and gentlemen, the merch should be done within the next 2 days and be up on the website. But as well as that, I have a poll up asking if y'all like where I'm going for my college football trip this year. And it is going to be the team in the Big 12. Some of you probably already know who it is, because it says it in the title of the community poll that I put up. But tomorrow, I have a special show for you. It is an interview with soon-to-be North Florida basketball alumni Dorian James. And that'll be at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And then Sunday, I may have a video for you. Sunday morning, I might have a video for you if I decide that I'm going to the South Florida basketball game Sunday night. But please remember to, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a future upload. And leave a thumbs up on this video. I will see you in the next episode of the Sports Talk Podcast. Have a wonderful rest of your day.